Right, legends. Welcome to the crypto market review. FX will be this afternoon. Dollars all over the place. I think it's more of a euro mover than anything. But it's still within the week's range. So let's not panic over one little move. Nobody's complaining when we wrote this up. Okay? Well, F anyway. But one last check. Hang on. Everybody can hear me, right? Before I even started. Clear? Because I just the second round. Just confirm one more time. Okay, so what we've got here is if I clean this chart up, we are still within a range. Well, no, technically we've broken out of the range. Let me explain what I mean by that. So if we look at this, and I'm going to explain, my F long was based on invalidation. Like I said, I don't mind the drawdown against me. Has it hit my stop? No. Okay. And the reason why I entered is because sometimes in certain conditions, when the market's about to really rip in one way, it doesn't give much of a pullback. Okay, so I'd rather be on board, have a risk to reward. Okay, good enough for me. Minimum 1-to-1. Got a violation in place. I know wherever happens, I'm wrong there. Not every trade's gonna go my way straight away. Sometimes the F long did initial one straight away. We caught the bottom, but we've got in here. That's range high, and this region here is range low. Okay, so we got first high resistance, deviation, resistance, resistance, resistance. Resistance should turn support if correct. If it does something like this and starts breaking down, boom, that's it. That's a deviation then. That's a deviation we'll be looking to short the market. Is that clear? Just on the basis. And that's obviously that deviation there. Nothing you don't already know from previous videos. So I don't know how it's going to look like then. When the time comes, set up, I will be posting it. But this is just a basic blueprint of we'll be looking for a short there. Just like we did aggressive short there. Okay. But this time round, if correct, we should blow off harder. And another reason for that was my thesis on the dollar index going a bit lower first, then higher. Just enough. Even this long here is, I mean, my view on this is not new highs. I think it's going to cap. That's why I'm getting ready for the big swing short soon. Okay. And ES at the time, maybe I timed it a bit wrong on the ES. It's a bit aggressive, but I'll give my reasons for that. It was similar to F. But we're going to break that down soon. So that would be the short entry. So for now, resistance has turned support. Okay? For now. So if I draw that on, let's keep it simple. That's what it is. Also, what we've got is that January's high. I'll go to another chart for January, so I don't want to mess it up too much. But we're going to the other chart for that. But for now, we anticipate support to have become resistance. No, resistance to have become support, and we're going to use the other range level charts. Two range levels we're going to use. One is going to be the big Asian 1 range levels. The other is going to be the January's range levels. So for now, one is, I mean, this is support level. If it's going to hold, it's going to hold. And I think January's high is going to be easier to mark out for this, for invalidation. But as long as it doesn't make a clean breakdown below here, we should be good for longs. Now we can wait for the confirmation plays. Breaking structure, hold above, there's the trigger, cut to the clean break wherever the low is, and target 1, target 2. We're going to have tighter targets in a minute. We're just showing basic naked chart. For now, it's holding a support, is it not? It came last night. Is this a double bottom? Can everybody see what I mean? This is still resistance becomes support now. Make sense? It's the same levels we've been using. The only conflicting thing we have is what is ES doing? That's the main problem for me. I look at, like I said, I'm not going to look at individual alts until Bitcoin bottom, Ethereum bottom out. Individual alts don't mean nothing. Okay, Matic is not going to be the only alt that's going to go up while others go down, or others go down, or that goes up, or vice versa. If Bitcoin bottoms out, then we will look at alts. Okay. But on its own merit, it doesn't mean nothing. Alts on their own merit don't mean nothing. If Bitcoin's still holding up, some of the alts are breaking support levels, then when Bitcoin rallies, all of them reclaim. So say this is Bitcoin here, and say this was Matic trading here. If Bitcoin does this and shoots up, Matic's going to reclaim and do that. So that doesn't mean nothing. This breakdown on its own doesn't mean nothing. Does that make sense? But if Bitcoin does confirm the low and starts pushing up, then we can look at the alts. Does that make sense? So on its own merit, it doesn't mean much. But okay, if Matic's holding below resistance, like say this is resistance, and Bitcoin starts, doing a breakdown, then okay, the alts are the better shorts then, because the high beta plays. Okay. this being a high. So that is this. Last time BTC was at these levels, you saw, yes, because it's just the context of the thing. If you watch the previous video reviews we did, I've explained it all in there, the previous ones, because this is different because it's broken above. So this was the context. ES was dropping lower. ES was coming off range highs at the time. So I get it off ES. If you watch the video I did, it's a 12-minute one of them was crypto, recent crypto ones. ES was at range highs and dollar index was pushing up, and that was my reasoning thesis behind it. Make sense? So if you quickly watch over that should answer your question. But ES was, I believe ES was coming down. And this time around, I believe ES was going up. Now maybe my timing is off, but ES as well. We'll come back to this. Let me just forget the questions. Let me get through my points first. So that's that there. Then we're going to go on to the other chart here. So we'll bring up two more charts. One is going to be this. And now this has come into the main range level. Now I know this is messy right now, okay? But from the last review, if you remember, the key range levels are the thick ones. So on your chart, a separate BitMEX chart like this, have these, those two are the extreme and macro range levels. I explained in the recent reviews where they are, so you're gonna have to watch that one repeat where I got them from. In the reviews, make sure you watch them. And then that's the midpoint, okay? That is the midpoint this time. This time around, it rallied up further. That's too much of a push up. And if you remember that one of the extended targets was here. Okay, happy birthday, Ravan. So that's that. So you want to have try and mark out these ranges. These range levels are capping the market now. So what we want to see is this is where the range level confirmation comes in. If it's going to be a trigger, the moment it starts smashing below here, I'm going to wait. I don't have a clear trigger plan for a short personally. I'm going to wait. If it goes in one go, then so be it. Next trade. It's not always going to be on board, but I don't see it. This is holding now. This is different. See the difference between here. When you broke this key level, so if this is the midpoint, okay, these are the, so on a big BitMEX chart like this, just have out the circle levels drawn, okay, and you can mark out the midpoints of that. So that's just the midpoint of that, and that's just the midpoint of that. Get your fib tool, draw 50% down, that's it, that's all it is, okay. These are the circle ones are the main key ones, the rest is just smaller ones for day trading, etc. These ones were capped by this range level here, okay, so this one is broken above. Okay, spike. It's like a big blow off kind of move, but it's still maintaining this, isn't it? Like here it went up and boom back down. The first deviation capped the market. Okay, and at the time, Bitcoin was, ES was, we believe, lower prices. We were shorting it, the dollar going up. So all that I did a video on. Firstly, we didn't even do Bitcoin. We just went over ES, dollar index, gold, etc. Then all that just for the gold, okay? I mean, not gold, Bitcoin. We even covered gold, sorry. Now, it's still holding a support now. Obviously, if it, like I said, if it does whatever it's going to do, and then it starts breaking down, okay, that's a deviation, and then we'll start looking for trigger setups. I don't know what it's going to look like at the time, but I'm going to see what we got to work with, and we'll post it. Do a review on that. But for now, I'm assuming it's support to proven otherwise. Now, one of the trigger plans for this would be, or could be, possibly, I mean, we could do another run of these lows, whatever the case may be, I don't know. But I'm sticking to ETH now, I can't take another trade right now, okay? And I'll give my reason why I chose ETH as well, at the time, because FBTC was not always going to be accurate, not always going to be 100%, but it hasn't stopped me out just yet. As if it is a stop, I will take about 20 winners in a row anyway. So, you're going to break above, I'm going to see, so this could be like, an area to see, let's call this our deviation area, above or below. Now, if this breaks above and holds, then it's game on, because then we have a clear invalidation below here, and because it's consolidation then leads to expansion, does it not? Accumulation, and see that once it gets back above, there's the long, push it up, right? Similar here, and then target 1, target 2, target 3. Now, I'm probably going to cancel. You can leave that order in. The order I've got here is just a half a size. Okay? So, that'll be the trigger. A cut in the clean break, whatever the swing low is. Target, target, target. Does that make sense? So, we've got a confluence of the yellow line range high we drew in the initial chart. The significance of this being the midpoint of the two key range levels. The midpoint is always significant. Remember, we caught the low of Bitcoin around 15, 16K. Remember what that was? Go back to those. If you go back to the videos at that date, That was the mid-range as well, wasn't it? So a flip of a mid-range is significant. Hence why I'm leaning short-term more bullish till proven otherwise. We'll zoom out a bit now. Let's zoom out. In my opinion, now obviously we could be wrong. That's why we have our risk in place. Whoever's going all in, you probably deserve to lose all your money then if you're going all into trades. That no natural SR hasn't been really retested yet. So my thesis is, and this could happen quick, if ES still holds weak, right? And this just rips up on its own. That means there's gonna be a snapback in Bitcoin soon. Okay? Now ES is weak right now. Now things may change. I have no clean read on ES right now, so that's sort of got me a bit. That's why I want to wait for the afternoon to do FX. FX this week's a bit tricky for me. The other weeks has been okay. FX is a bit tricky. Crypto's probably a bit cleaner. But what I'm thinking is, if it does this, the confirmation for the big short, in my opinion, would be, okay, if you take a position here, do small. You cut in a clean break above here. That should cap the market really, because if it's going to come down lower. Otherwise, this is probably going to break out a lot higher. We're going to have to be really cautious. But this is where I'm going to go for the main shorts. Remember when we took the initial shorts in Bitcoin, and then the confirmation plays was when we broke below when we deviated, right? That will also be a break below the midpoint range level on the green chart. And where's range lows again? Moving towards range lows to take out the stops here. Down. Maybe lower. Maybe lower. Who knows? Let's just go for one target at a time. We don't get too overexcited. Does that make sense? Everybody clear with the plan? Now, this could be a low in Bitcoin right now. F could be a low. So that's more or less the basics of the plan. Okay, that's it. Don't over fucking think it. There's nothing more to add. I'm not looking at OI. I'm not looking at this, that, the other. Just a plain naked chart, what the market is telling me. Now we're going to go on to Ethereum now. Before Ethereum, we're going to bring on FBTC. So as long as that's clear, now let things unfold. I know this message. Actually, let me do one more chart on Bitcoin. Oh, look, lo and behold, somebody here buying in it. Which one of you is buying this right now? As soon as I say this could be a possible low, one of you fuckers going to step in. Now, we're going to go to one more chart. I've got... Oh, just lo and behold, the Matic charts here. So the Matic, I mean, we'll come back to this. There's no clean read on this for me right now, in case sense of invalidation. Yesterday, it was at one point, and my thesis was it would go up, but there's cleaner charts out there. But if you want to really, just for the sake of it, because it's here, remove these drawings, smack on one line, and okay, you know what? We can look at Matic as a factor of confluence as well. In that case, if we're gonna see this as SR flip. Okay, if you want to take Matic, look at Ethereum, that is a brutal move. What go on here? Okay, we've got that there. Now that's a key SR level. Are we in agreement? That's a key SR level right there. Resistance, Powell. Was Powell talking? Oh yeah, I forgot the Americans' time has changed, hasn't it? I keep forgetting. In my head, it keeps. I keep forgetting the Americans' time changed. Okay, well we'll come back to it. Now remember, resistance is what? Resistance. Okay, this is where you get a bit of congestion. You don't get a clean breakout the first time round. We're just using this as an example. Now we could be wrong on the idea. My risk is 1R. I'm risking 1% on the equity on the ETH long. Obviously depends on what your equity is. Just like my other swing trades. But the first one made multiple war. This is even if I take a loss on this, no problem at all. Now what we're gonna do is, if we look previously, you got that breakout there. It's a bit of congestion around here, isn't it? It's not cleanly breaking up, but it's not cleanly breaking down either. Are we in agreement? I'm using this as a study example, by the way. For a confluence, if you want to take Bitcoin long, instead of taking a Bitcoin line, go for an ultra long. But I'm using this as a study case, okay? Now, technically, how much lower can the deviation go? Well, let's draw it. The example's been given to us here. So see this here. When it broke below here, first time people support and resistance, okay, possibly. But then once it deviates, that's it, game over. That's a minimum for a trigger, cut a clean break below after the stop run. Look how low it went here, that exact same deviation here. So it's not really breaking low, is it? Now, if Bitcoin, etc., went up, now I don't know how high Matic's going to go. I don't really have faith in this. I am going to look for the massive short again this time round. I mean, when the big short happens, That's every alt is getting their mum fucked. Everybody's getting fucked in that sense. We're gonna short the fuck out of alts, just like we did on the way down. We're smacking everything down. We'll be smacking this when the time comes. Okay. Did any of you play Matic shorts with me? We milked the fuck out of that, didn't we? That was some milkage. Okay, no. Oof. But when the time comes, again, remember, I only took it when the time comes. When we're taking it just because we want to take it, it never happens. I don't believe it's ready yet, but when it is ready, you guys will know. For now, just patience. So in that case, that's going to be the next objective in towards possibly here. I'm just using this. I'm not taking this, by the way. I prefer BTC and F. And most of the counter show the other day, that was all BTC and F. I don't know, maybe one or two Matic trades. Matic was on my main account. Matic was not taken on that small degen account. I only trade BTC and F on that. So this is deviate to the upside. So what I would do is, if you want to be aggressive, and if you believe that Bitcoin's going to go up from here, that's a valid case, you could do maybe half a size, cut to the clean break below here. Okay? Just small size if you want to be aggressive. Or just wait and let it break above and hold. Well, hang on a minute. Now it's starting to break above now. It's reclaimed back above the key level. It's holding above. It went as low as that deviation area before. I capped the downside before. And that is a valid long. Target 1, target 2. And then if you give the trigger, cut to the clean break wherever the swing low is. Does that make sense? Pizza Vita family, yeah, funny videos that Atom Invest makes them. And that's it. So you can use stuff like this as a confluence. When the time comes, we'll probably take alts, but I want to get the Ether risk free for now. Once it starts to risk free, I'll just compound on Ether if I have to. Okay, it's just a high confidence place for me. Now that's a study example, by the way. That's it. Now let's move forward now to Bitcoin, and that's the January high. Lo and behold, January's high is capping the market. Remember our main short thesis. The aggressive entry was here. I said I'm taking aggressive. But I said once it deviates back below the January's high, isn't that the short? Remember that? I've closed some of the UTK. Hit near enough target 1. The rest are flat. But if Bitcoin is technically right, we will cover UTK because that's the one. As a spot player, you can't margin trade it, but UTK I think is a really good project. And what I like about UTK is the cycles it does. Like RLC. RLC's one. I don't know what the fuck it does. But for some reason, that cycle works really well. UTK we've taken a couple of times, haven't we? It does really well. We'll cover UTK as well. So this, for now, is what? Support. So once it deviated, that was the main short. Either took the short there or there. When we get the trigger plans, boom. Look at that. We nailed that low there. Fucking hell. Boom, look at that. So now I would anticipate resistance to hold support. So that's the third confluence. Does that make sense? I'm not going to be going over loads of alts. I will be going over alts when I believe Bitcoin's bottomed out. Okay, I'm going to go UTK because I mentioned that already. So again, this is just the third confluence. It could do something like this and then deviate. Okay, that's why we're waiting now, and that's why when I look at ES, we'll be covering ES in the FX review this afternoon in a couple of hours. I'm just really not going to clean read. That's all. Once I have a clean read, then I will. But I can't do something when I don't have a clean read. Sometimes I have to wait a couple of days. And then, like that, so if it does that, or you look for the trigger above there. So you can say, well, this is capping the upside for now. And say we've got an objective around that 28.5k area. Okay? So there's no reason to go back above here. So maybe if it does this, and then deviates back above, that's a valid long trigger. Cut to the clean break, whatever the low is. Target 1. Target 2, and then the on the range level charts, the targets I mentioned there. Okay, like that. Or the secondary target, the trend continuation target, the double bottom one, and that's just the confluence I've thrown in. Okay, let's move on now. 1 second, since I got this to FBTC, then I'll do UTK. I'll look at dollar index as well, by the way. I'll leave UTK to the end. Let's get the main things out of the way with. The next one, FBTC. So which chart am I going to use for FBTC? I need these charts. Okay, let's just use this for FBTC. FBTC. Now this is one of the reasons why. For now it's going back below, but let's see. This is range lows right now, short term. Okay, it did bounce up a bit, but it's capped. But either way, If this was coming down and our F longs were doing great anyway, and I said in the video I did, you can take aggressive Bitcoin long if you remember from the video. We're waiting to see whether inversion. There's no real black and white answer to that. You just see a structure break. There's no people are putting a time frame to it. There isn't a time frame to it. It's just as soon as he does it. For example, so for a deviation, I'm gonna do a constant video on that, but it's just market's been so hectic. It's taking me back a bit, but it's just I don't know. It's just a lot of his experience as well, but it's just don't become too rigid with the rules for it. So if this is a level, and he does this, I mean that's enough of a time frame for me. I mean they just consolidated for a while. Like here, that's a key level there. There's the deviation. That's enough. Retest, and that was the retest level for the reclaim long, wasn't it? If you remember back then. That's enough. That's it. There's no set time frame. I don't usually look at a set time frame. As long as it's not 1 week like that, or 1 week like whatever. That's different. So that's that dot there. Let's carry on now. No more distractions. FBTC. So FBTC. Why I chose F long yesterday? I thought if F is gonna bottom out, this could rip up from here. So FBTC was around here yesterday. Now we got the initial spike up, but then it's come back down. So the question is, does it retest here, or is it gonna come back below here? That's the question. Okay. So for now, we'd assume support until proven otherwise. You with me? So can you believe that? Are we in agreement? I mean, it's hit a couple of times, but F is a bit of a weird motherfucker. I'm gonna say. Let's just use this as range high or short-term range high here. Okay, let's just zoom in. We call that a range low for now, a range high. So I'm not taking this long, but if this has support gives me a bit of a bounce, that would mean F could bounce harder. That's all. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. If this starts breaking down, and if I want to come, and if this starts breaking down below here, and FUSD and Bitcoin are still strong, okay, then I'll probably look for a Bitcoin long. That's all that means for me for now, okay? And that's more or less in for FBTC. Now let's go to FUSD. Now I'm in this long. I'm underwater, but this was taken based on invalidation. Now at times it's like the first initial Bitcoin short I took. Got a clear invalidation here. Now if we start breaking down below here and holding, I'll probably look to cut that position. Okay, if I can, unless there's one kind of loop, there's one. I know how much I'm gonna lose max risk on this, regardless of what happens. I'm not putting all my equity behind it. For people that do the shit like that, you probably deserve to lose all your money. Then you're not gonna last long in this game anyway. you risk a certain amount. Even if this stopped me out, I've got about 5 off from the long I took, or whatever. So it makes no difference. Or you wait. You wait for the setup, which I'm gonna mark out in a minute. So the main setup, if you recall, okay, would have been the range level of 17.99. Okay, that's in the previous review, and I said the main one is going to be there. Let it do its thing. The moment it can reclaim and hold above, these stops here go there. Whatever I've reduced the risk by to maintain that 1R, say my 1R is 1% of equity, I'll look to add it there and play it towards here. These clean highs. At that point, let's see if it does the blow off. If it comes back down, we look for the big short. Okay, or we'll see what happens. I'm not just saying it could go higher. The market is the market. But if it starts breaking below here and starts holding, so I wouldn't want one of these. I mean, at least something like this. If it does this after that and starts breaking down, technically we're probably start looking for a short trigger. I don't know what that short trigger is going to be yet, but we mark out a blueprint for now. But something like this, maybe play towards here is target 1 and target 2, the top of the consolidation down there. The rest we'll see what happens at the time. Okay, we'll use the January's range, which I'll get onto in a minute, and that technically will be the short trigger, but I'll get a neater one depending on the time. Does that make sense? So not in here, or if you want to cut it, I mean you can cut it. It's not that much of a big loss, less than half an hour loss. Just because a wide stop doesn't mean I'm using the same size. I'm adjusting my stop, my risk according to what my stop is. That's something basic that everybody should know. If you don't know, you shouldn't be trading. I know gold is rolling. This is why it's not making sense to me. A lot of the shit's not. Sometimes the market a bit decorrelated a bit, or some sort of news comes out. It snaps back down soon. When everything's in rhythm again, that's when the high probability plays are. Okay, that's when, like, gold up, ES down, dollar up, or dollar down. Sorry, whatever the case may be. Gold up, ES up, dollar down. That's what I mean. Okay, the normal correlations we look for. So this could be like a consolidation phase. So again, similar to Bitcoin, that's a range high. Deviation is holding for now till proven otherwise. And if it reclaims, that's the high probability trigger. That's where I put most risk behind. I'll be looking for the break and consolidation, hold above, invalidation wherever the swing low is. I will be going towards there. Now along the way there, bringing this chart here. Okay, so what we've done here is we've taken our previous day's low. There, we've taken those stops there, and that's why you had the reaction. Maybe get one more run based on what Bitcoin's showing. Hasn't taken out the low yet, but we'll see on that. Okay, now if I go to this chart, we're holding the range level. We've taken out the low. So if I wasn't already on board this trade, and I wanted to get on board, I'd probably wait. The way ES is looking, unless ES finds a bid, okay, I'd wait for the breakout play I mentioned, because that's the high probability play. If you want to be aggressive, okay, be quick to cut it, like I mentioned, and I would wait for. So if I mark this out, the Monday's range, okay. So far, what I would like to see is that's Monday's high to Monday's low. I mean, 1636 could cap the market. A break back above Monday's high, okay. So we've taken out. So where's the stops resting? So those that were long, and that's why I used the wider stop. I'm not going to put a stop right down there if I want to swing trade. If I want to take a trade based on invalidation, and one of the reasons was because I didn't want to miss out on the move in case it did, because I've seen situations where it does completely just keep ripping, and I've seen the same situation where it does a deeper pullback. So I placed my stop loss where I think I'm wrong. With risk adjusted, of course. Okay. Otherwise, just wait. That's what you can do. So we're going to take the Monday's high. We're going to mark that out there. So Monday's high. Let's make it in infrared for now. Okay. Now, there's no need to go back above Monday's high if we're gonna go lower, probability wise. So what we're gonna do is, this could make one more run of this, and this could be a range low here. Okay, because that's technically the first down, but that's fine. And another one more spike doesn't harm, it makes no difference. Okay, but what you want to see is if you want to day trade separate, or if you're not already on board, you want the high probability plays, which is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with that. You wait, clean break above, let it hold. Now this is the Monday's high, okay? If you're just holding with the Monday's high and this range level, these range levels are given in the previous review, so you can watch that. You can get the range levels off of that. And there's your long, cut to the clean break, whatever the low is. I put a hard stop there and then just cut it clean break below the Monday's high. And you're gonna have target 1 there as a range level target. Target 2 there. Now for the swing trade, the midpoint, so the oopsie daisy. Remember when I said for Bitcoin the mid range is ideal, important? Well, for Ethereum, that's the key range level to there. That mid range is holding. So that was going to be a natural reaction to it. I saw yesterday, if you just bust through it, and in the summertime last year they did do that around June, July, we just kept going and going and going. Then this is a very high confidence play for me, in my opinion. And you want to, the key levels to mark out for this one for now. Go to the Bitfinex feed, so it's in sync with mine, and you're gonna have this circle level. This circle level, okay. If you draw at 2094.89 to 4024.3, you can then just draw your fib and mark them out yourself. Okay, your fibs. I've just adjusted 50%, 25%, 75%. You all know how to use that. If you don't know how to use TradingView, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that's it. Those are the key. So the targets for that, if you want some medium-term targets, 90, 26, 2010, and then 2094. Okay. I mean, I'm not even going that high, but I believe it could reach that level there because it's just a range level that should cap it. Now, if correct on the thesis, and we are going to take out these clean highs here, it doesn't just take it out by $1. It's probably going to squeeze towards here, possibly even squeeze towards there. We'll deal with that then. Do you trade on? No, just for the chart, mate. Just for the chart. Just because I use the chart. I mean, I've used up all my Binance ones for levels. For some reason, I find the Bitfinex charts for a range levels works the best. For a monthly Binance, I don't know why. Yeah, I've just kind of stuck to it. Yeah. Take care, Tom. But yeah, that's the reason behind it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense so far? I know it's a mess, but it is a mess, obviously, when you can draw all the range levels out. But as long as you know which ones are. So it'd be better if you're in sync with these green lines, just draw the same as mine, just so we're in sync. Because if I draw in Binance, it's a bit different, and this is a bit different. You know the differences we get in price data. So that's that there. So I wouldn't be, we could possibly get like this, and then reclaim, that could still happen, okay? And then push up. Now let's go on to the F range levels for January, because I said that's important. So that's why I closed all of the other ones. They look like they were pulling back. This is still a valid long in my opinion, but once Bitcoin proves itself as a bottom Ethereum, we will do the alts. For now, there's no point. If these two go down, everything's going down. And if they do go down, break down, then we're going to probably short some alts as well. So either way, we'll play them. We just got to be patient. Now, if I look at this, now we're just trading around that January high right now. We're not completely like smashing below it. We're not completely like holding above it either. It's consolidating. It's ranging around it, up and down, up and down. So again, this is why I said based on what Bitcoin as well is doing, we could get a little drop towards here. So say for example, say you decide to cut this here, and it did one of these ones where it did this, and then reclaimed, we could get back in there. Okay, so what? If I cut it early, that's fine. Or if I got out and you want to wait for the confirmation entries, I like this one the most. I love my trip plays are like this for clean breakup plays towards there. Okay, or deviate like that. If we did cut it for some reason, you could wait for scenario 1 or scenario 2 to get back in, and there's nothing wrong with that. Completely valid. Do you have a plan? No plan B, and I'm just gonna wait for the market, like I said. For the breakdown plays, I gotta wait. So what? It's just a data event, so what? Makes no difference. Okay, market nukes, market nukes. I've got my stop in place. You can either cut it or wait for either of the two plays. Does that make sense? But I'm happy to take the full 1 hour risk. It's only risking 1 hour on that trade idea. So I'm gonna see how that unfolds. I will do chart updates as the day goes along, but I've got to be very, very crystal clear with these setups. Finally, ES, I really am in two minds about it. I mean, not in two minds, I'm talking about short term. Bigger picture, I do think it goes down. But I believed at the time when we were breaking up down here, that's why I took the ES long. This did the dip, and I thought we're gonna break out. Now all markets has come back down, taking out some stops intra-week, and it's just holding within here. So let's see. I'm gonna see how today unfolds. I really have no clean crystal view on this right now, other than if ES does clear this mid-range and holds, that's a decent long. This is wait for the clean break and hold above. I was a bit aggressive, but I thought that invalidation would hold. I was wrong on that. But if it does that again this time around, because it's consolidated so long, just like this consolidation, once it expands, simple breakup play. The fact is, this is at mid-range at the time. January's high, January's low, January mid-range, and target, and target. Back towards here, I believe that's why it's going to go. That's why I believe ETH is going to go up. Okay, so let's see what the news brings. Could this just have been the stop run? If I go to the lower time frame, this is just taking our previous day's low. So if I go to here, so we'll wait. I've just got an appointment to go to this afternoon. Once I'm back, I'll be looking at the chart with you guys. Well, I'll be posting. If there's anything new, we'll do the FX. So hopefully after, even if it's later in the day, a couple of hours, we plan for FX once it's clear. This could be the low. It's taken our previous day's low, right? Just barely took out Monday's high there. I mean, I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm not going to take a stop out. Because I've got Ether as well. So technically, it's a risk asset, isn't it? Ether and Bitcoin. So if this is going to rally up, Ether's going to rally up. So I'll stick to the Ether for now. It's technically playing the high beta play. Playing Bitcoin long and Ether long. Like I said, what did I say at the beginning of the session? If you just joined, you'll know why I'm not looking at alts. But watch the recording. So we'll see what happens here. This is a key support level. It's going to hold here. It's going to go up. Worst case scenario, test January low. But I'm going to come back to this. I've not got no clean read on this. Other than, like I said, if it smashes back above, that's accumulation, consolidation phase, break and hold above. And then I'm going to go for the long. Play towards there. Take out these stops. And then last week's high. And then January's high. Okay? Does that make sense so far? So now it's a waiting game. If you wanted to cut it early, that's fine. We've got a clean, high probability trigger plans in place. And the rest, I'll see how the news unfolds. The next couple of hours, we'll have a clearer picture. Do we go start looking for shorts on Bitcoin? I mean, I love shorting this fucker. I don't even like taking longs for some reason. It's just weird, I know. But I will be open to taking shorts. It's not going to go in one go. I'd be surprised if it just goes in one go. And so what if it doesn't go in one go? But the moment you can just prove to me the top is in, boom, we'll be all over the shorts. Just like we were here. First short, I don't know, added here. And the third one, 3-4 shorts we played down here. Okay? Patience. And we were the best one. The best one was after it topped out. Okay? I'll catch you guys soon. Let's see how the after next couple of hours unfolds. Yes, it's in the recording. If you join late, I'm still in the F myself. I'm holding my F. Okay, if it stops me, it stops me. 1 hour risk max. Okay? If you want to get out early, wait for the confirmation, that's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm not going to say reduce it or not. If you're asking or you're worried about reducing it, that means you probably got too much of a size on. So for your next trade, don't do too much size. I'm okay with taking the stop out. It's only one loss to me. Okay, I'll catch you guys soon. Take care.